So, good morning. I wanted to give a mini update on my garden. So, I had a slow start because of my knee injury, but let's get this going. This is just cucumbers. I have a tomato growing there. I'm going to leave it there and see what it does. More cucumbers, tomatoes. I have some collard greens from last year. I'm not bothering it because I want the seeds. So I haven't really done much with this garden because I allowed this to be a voluntary garden because I know I had so many stuff last year with seeds that fell in here. The only thing I did was put some kale in here because where my kale was at, it was too much sunlight, and it was like really burning it up. So I just stuck some kale in here, and what you're seeing there's a whole bunch of volunteer tomatoes from last year because in this garden is where I had my tomatoes at. So I will have to transplant some of them because it'll be definitely too much tomatoes in here, but I just let it go ahead and do its thing for now. And it rained, so it doubled up a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out if this is a weed or did I plant it because there's a lot in both of my beds, my volunteer beds. So these are my lettuce that I am allowing to go to seed because I have so much lettuce. I'm so tired of lettuce right now. So I just went ahead and just let it go ahead to go to seed. I'm going to collect some seeds and plant some more. But these are my transplants. They were volunteer from last year, and I went ahead and transplant them to this area. And again, more of this plant. I'm not sure what it is. Is it a weed or is it food? So so here we go. We're gonna let these seeds. I can have a lot of lettuce seeds, more collard greens, more of that plant. You're gonna hear the air condition. I'm sorry. There's some dill in here and more collard greens from last year. This area needs to clean up, but like I need to do some weeding. But we have this is a plum. Far back is an apple, and that's vase. It had some sunflowers last year, but it still have onions and dandelions. I'm gonna redo, and the little trees in between, right here, like those are blueberries. I had some blueberries off of one of them already. That's another plum, and right here is another nectarine. It's a nectarine. One nectarine tree I have. And each bed had onions, but I got the onions out of this bed. So, onions. I'll put some sunflowers back in there. You'll see it. It'll be beautiful. So I'm taking the onions up and I have to do the beds over. As you can see, onions. I didn't know what I was really doing last year. So this is what it come to. So I just let it, the bees love the flowers, so I just leave it right there. I went ahead and I put a raspberry tree right here. I believe this one is a brandy. And I have a yellow pear tomato. That's the okra on the back. It's a red velvet okra, some sunflowers, a long purple eggplant, more cucumbers. I have some sage that's in here. Um, Another eggplant, strawberry right there in the middle, sunflowers in the back, tomato, and then I have a sweet carnival blend pepper back there. Here's another raspberry tree. I planted it here, but last year I had it in a bucket over here. So apparently some fell, and I'm thinking about cleaning up this area and probably transplanting it. And we have some volunteer dill, and we have some more volunteer dill. So this is a project area that I'm gonna do right here. This is gonna be a project right here, this area. I have some containers here, but it's a project I'm gonna work on. This was a beautiful bed last year, but now it has my endives that's flowering. This is a project that I'll have done by the end of the summer. I'll put some more stuff. This is where my kale was originally. Here we go, more raspberries. I have to put this on a trellis. This is my volunteer bin. So in here I had a lot of sunflowers last year. This year I just threw some onions in here. There's some carrots in here. There's some what's in here? There is carrots, onions, there's lettuce. I think some watermelon seeds dropped in here from last year. So yes, I'm kind of just letting this bin do its thing. There's some garden sorrel right here. And let's see what else. And this was my lettuce right here. I'm letting it go to seed again so I could plant some more and get some more. In here, this is a tea right here. This is chamomile tea. There's a volunteer tomato. I actually dropped these in here because these are seeds for I believe these are actually, see the seeds is here. I believe these are actually the mustards. So I'll actually throw some dirt in here and mustards will come back in the winter volunteering on its own. Well, later in the year on its own. So I constantly have to weed it up because there's weeds in there as well. This is a blueberry tree that I planted here. And I had a shelf here, but I moved it, so I'm just going to clean it up and just leave it open as a walkway. This was everything that I'm showing you right now from here come down was my original garden from last year. And it had a lot more stuff growing. The sun has been really hot. I had a slow start because of the my knee surgery. So, but I'm allowing some stuff to go to seed, more lettuce, radish. I had got some, actually these are beets. And I had, and here was my radish bin. I had to add some more dirt to it. Last year it was eggplants. Last year what I had in here, eggplants and tomatoes, I believe. And now I allowed some carrots to go in there. That's going to seed right here. And I have some radish and stuff that's in there. So yes, there's a little bit of cleanup. I believe some cilantro may have fell in here. Radish, these are I just leave these for the seeds. And then I'll put something else in here. But this is kind of just an update. And then when everything starts doing its thing, you'll see that it'll be something great. I have to get a tomato cage for these tomato trees. I am going to go ahead and probably build my own cage, because last year my tomatoes grew completely out of the cage. They're in buckets. These, I'm going to show you the ones that was planted at the same time with it. And I realized that once you put them in a bigger container, they just start to take off even better. I still don't know what I planted in this bucket. Still haven't figured out what this leaf is, but I'm not messing with it. And let's see what it does. See, like this baby tomato right here was planted at the same time with these, and these are just shooting up. We'll have tomatoes soon. So I just stick tomatoes here and there. Still haven't figured out if this is a weed or something that I planted. So I just let it do its thing in there. Some more volunteer tomatoes in here. I didn't plant them. They had a tomato tree in here last year, and the seeds drop and it's coming back. This was my radish bin, but I put some beets in there, and we have some collard greens from last year that's going to seed. I allow it to go to seed, so I don't have to buy seeds anymore. Okay, totally forgot the name. Oh, horseradish. This is my horseradish. I'm gonna put it in a bigger container, but I had it in this bucket. I'm gonna put it in a bigger container soon. This is technically was a tomato bin. I put some garden sorrel in there. It took over, and I just named it my garden sorrel bin from now on. But I add some corn in there, and I think there should be like a tomato. Yeah, to allow it to grow up in here and see what we have. Um, this is one of my favorite. Here it is. I'm forgetting the name. It's very spicy though. It tastes real good. Yeah, so I really like it. I really would like it to give me a lot more because it tastes so good. Forgot the name. Forgive me. Now, in this bin, last year I had got so much beans and it needs to weed up, but I've been building. You'll see what I've been building in another area. So I really haven't had that much time to work on this area. Um, but there's some tomatoes in there that you can't see. Once I do the cleanup, you'll be able to tell. I have to weed it. I have to actually weed it up, but there's some tomatoes in there. There's going to be some volunteering peas in there on its own. I kind of just throw my scraps in here. There's some old collard greens in there. So I have to weed it up, and we're going to backfill it with some dirt. So I have put those flowers in here for the bees, but yeah, it's a hot mess. So here's my new onion bin, my new onion area right here. So there's 100 onions in here, and the wind and the weather has done this to it, but it seems to be coming along all right. No complaints. Here's some more carrots that I'm allowing to go to seed. This was my nice sweet peas bin, and I got so much sweet peas from it, and it's getting dried up and stuff, so I'm allowing some of the sweet peas to, go to seed and dry up, and then I'll go ahead and plant some more. But they taste so good, you could literally just eat it off the tree. And there you go, more radish that I'm allowing to go to seed, so I don't have to buy the seeds anymore. So here is hundreds of different type of food once you let it go to seed. I have an eggplant in there, and this volunteer. I have to clean this up again. The reason why I didn't put any peas on the trellis is because my grapes are doing well this year. They're green, but there's a lot of grapes. These are my collard greens. I'm going to use the seed. That's my spearmint. I have this lettuce going to seed, so I can put some more seeds in there. There are peppers and stuff in there that you can't see in there, but I'll put those lettuce in there. There's a peppermint. There's the sage. Oh, there's the grapes. Sage. More grapes. So I have a lot of work to work in here, but the knee surgery set me back. So the volunteers has been doing its work for me. More grapes. So this is what I've been working on. My new garden area. Forgive this space because that's my tent that I took down that I have to clean. But it rained, so it's not quite finished cleaned. But all of it is going to be my garden area. And I have right now a middle row and an outside row. But we're going to start with the outside. And all of these will be moved and adjusted once the design is complete. But this is what I have to deal with now. So these are summer squash, the Peter Pan type. There's a sweet potato in here, and it's a tomatalia purple. So there's some potatoes that's going to be transplanted, asparagus, lots of tomatoes. Oh my God, Roma tomatoes. I have to put those in individual pots. More potatoes. I believe that's dill on the back. There's some little pots with some chives, potato. There's a kiwi that I have to plant. Right here is more dill, garlic, more sweet. There's potatoes in here. There's chamomile back there. Oh, this is just a plant right here. I try to rescue it, but it's not looking too good. This empty bin that I'm going to use. I was trying carrots in this bucket. This is a weed that I have to get rid of, but I thought it was cute, so I left it alone. Chamomile. Again, put some weed in here. These weed, I don't know what this is, but this is all over my garden. There we go, some scallions in here. I've been eating most of it, and then I planted some baby ones in there, some seeds. So, and here we go again. More food. Not sure what this is, but it's probably a volunteer something. So we'll see. A lot of stuff is coming back from last year. See, look at the grass that went up in my bin. I have to take the grass out because there's actually food in there. That's a sorrel now that you call hibiscus. I have about 3 of them. This was my lettuce bin, and I was able to volunteer and give my neighbors free lettuce. So the seeds will help me get more. So let's go over here and see what's here. I have a vine. Oh, I gotta get in here and get this out my garden sorrel, out my hibiscus sorrel. This is a peas that volunteered from last year. It grew up in a couple of days. In there is lemongrass as well. And in here is lemongrass as well right here with some volunteers, something. I don't know what it is. Let me smell the leaf. Doesn't smell like a tea, but this is my lemongrass. So this is a bin that I have some seedlings in here that I have to fill with dirt. Potatoes again. I believe that's more dill, garden sorrel. The grass is taking over one of my buckets. Another hibiscus sorrel back there. Potatoes, banana, more potatoes, lots of potatoes. I just set it over there. Asparagus that I have to transplant. In here, right here, there's a lot of different things that's going on here. There's raspberries, there's pomegranates. I see red velvet okra back there. This has a plant that I took a clipping from one of my friend's house that I liked it, so I'm trying to grow it. It has figs in here and some grass that I have to weed up. So let's get to the middle bin. This is what was on the other side of the area that I'm cleaning up. And this is what gave me a lot of food last year. This is where I had got my volunteer lettuce from, and I transplanted it, and that's what ended up with that. So these, if you spread them out, they'll grow big. So there's a lot of volunteers in here, so I haven't put much anything in there as yet. I'm going to transplant these. So I haven't really done much with this bin, and it's because I didn't want to add more dirt to it. And then I had to move it. So chives, again, lots of volunteer stuff in here that would more than likely be transplanted. Sage, more lettuce going to seed, and of course my favorite weed. More chamomile. Oh, let me don't pull that up. I'll fix that later. More chamomile. Favorite weed. Again, I should probably pull this up later before I pull up some food with it. And I'm only one-handed because I have the camera in one hand. So, yeah, I gotta come out and weed this stuff. My knee is feeling a little bit better, so I could come out here and put some more dirt. Yes, my favorite peppermint. Yes. It smells so good, and it makes you wonderful tea. Lemon balm again. Some dandelion in here. Chamomile with some weeds. These are going to seed. I have to clean it up. And what do we have here? We have Roma tomatoes. Okay, some is in recycle containers. We have Roma tomatoes. We have the purple tomatillo. See, look at that. We have some. We have some yellow pear tomatoes. These are not going to stay here. These are actually going to sell. So here we go. More tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes. In here, all of these are Roma tomatoes. These are my sage, and these are my peppers. More tomatoes, and I just have to get these tomatoes sold and out of here. So this project has been taking up. See, I have some organizing to do because I moved those stuff. So I have to get this together. So this is the garden in the back. Is my 2020 garden, and this is my 2021 garden, and I need to get it together ASAP. Next video will show you my progress.